Invincible is Robert Kirkman's latest TV adaptation, making its debut in a television landscape now filled with all kinds of complex shows based on comics. But the show is more than just a new superhero edition, and after watching season 1, it's safe to say that it breaks all kinds of barriers and delivers something interesting that the genre may have needed. It celebrates superheroes traditionally, but it also subverts the idea of them. In this video essay, I'm going to be discussing why Amazon Prime's new TV show Invincible subverted the superhero genre, and why I personally think it's an amazing show that you should be watching. This analysis will contain brief spoilers, so if you haven't seen Invincible yet, then I would recommend watching this video after you've caught up. But before I get into it, if you want to see more on Invincible as new seasons arrive, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Also, if you enjoy this video, remember to give it a like rating. But without further ado, let's dive into why Invincible has subverted the genre of superheroes in a good way. So Robert Kirkman, the comic book creator behind The Walking Dead, had also started a timely and loved superhero comic book series during the same year as the zombie epic. At first, Invincible comes across like a traditional superhero saga, especially when compared to the past decade's worth of bold, small-screen storytelling within the genre. The series opens with a world-saving sequence in which a comparable Justice League crew of heroes battle baddies who are attacking the White House. The animation is well made and standard, reminiscent of shows from the DC animated universe. The pilot episode has a lot of normal writing, including several significant father-son discussions and important lessons. This is where we begin to dive into the nuanced life of teenager and superhero Mark Grayson, who is the son of Nolan and Debbie Grayson. The prime character is in high school and is going through the things that most teenagers must experience with relationships, first jobs, friendships, and school itself. It reminds you of the superheroes you tend to know and love right from the onset, and the characters within that mold tend to fit the role types. The big difference with Mark, however, is that his father is the most powerful superhuman on the entire planet. Omni-Man is like a twisted Superman, but one which at first may seem like his eventful actions are controlled and not fully his own, until the audience realizes that it's not that at all. And when Mark begins to develop his own powers, his life suddenly becomes a tutorial of balancing his day-to-day life with his own super abilities. So already we've got something familiar, but also something that is about to take these ideas and become a great example of subversion. Invincible is not what it first seems. Readers of the comics will know that there's a shocking twist early on that throws the entire series' premise into question. The adaptation, to its advantage, reshuffles some plot points and emphasises certain characters in order to make that defining moment even more upsetting and prominent on screen. The simple setup and a light-hearted throwback that reminds you of beloved teen hero characters like Peter Parker is only the tip of what's going on. Below all of this is a much darker series, one in which major threats against humanity are by turns ordinarily and upsettingly relentless. In particular, the end of the first episode includes a brutal murder of the Guardians in the hands of Mark's father, Omni-Man, throwing his seemingly perfect life into chaos, and from this point, we've only just started to get into the subversion and the violent twists. What follows is elements of other genres like mystery and horror, as Mark, his mother, and fellow superheroes begin to uncover the truth about what really happened. Thanks to Amazon giving Robert Kirkman the creative control he desires, this superhero teen soap transforms into a violent and bloody, true-to-form cartoon. And the show is full to the brim of big names, with even the supporting roles being ones you might recognise, helping to elevate the nuance of characters using their powerful voices. Alongside J.K. Simmons, Stephen Yeun, Mark Hamill, and Sandra Oh, the show includes other roles for Ezra Miller, Mae Whitman, Digimon Housu, Jonathan Groff, John Hamm, Nicole Byer, Jeffrey Donovan, Michael Dorn, Mahershala Ali, Zazie Beetz, Zachary Quinto, Seth Rogen, and many, many more. Fans of Kirkman's comics may be hesitant to embrace some of the series' aesthetic changes, which seem more in line with Amazon's other superhero show, The Boys, as it thrives on exploding heads and buckets of animated blood. Yet despite its violence, Invincible is not as inherently insensitive as The Boys, and still manages to temper its darker moments with homages and jokes that are rooted in pure love for all things superhero. This is what helps to make the plot points feel that much more impactful and create a connecting essence to Mark, who in the meantime is still growing up. He's slowly being introduced to these horrific events and grown-up concepts that makes you think deeply about what it might mean to be a superhero or someone who is uniquely separated from the everyday person. But even then, Mark has grown up with everyday people, and the characters he knows or tries to save are great elements that really help to ground the character within the world that the show takes place in. Robert Kirkman's Invincible is much more than a traditional superhero animation, as Amazon's star-studded new series offers an intimate subversion of the comic book genre. The cartoon manages to perfectly bring the comic book to life, but instead of glossing over the more intimate moments or rushing past the things that add so much empathy or emotion to the book, the series spends a good amount of time not only focusing on them, but expanding upon them. For every great action scene, we also touch on the personal lives of our characters and see how these two vastly different existences pull and push on each other. The show also refuses to stop any punches, offering some of the most incredible battle scenes ever put to screen, with brains, teeth, and body parts everywhere. Yet the series then immediately grounds things by showing us Mark's struggles, be it alongside his best friend William, or the best way to prepare for a date with his crush Amber. And this pull and tug relationship with being human and superhuman is how the show manages to end on a strong note. The final 2 episodes are all about this concept, and the show almost gets you ready for those final 2 installments with all the character development and plot growth that you witness throughout the season. Omni-Man and Invincible are the living examples of both, and while we know that unbeatable superhuman abilities would on paper triumph human abilities, the emotion and connection between these 2 main characters is what ultimately suppresses the final event. The humanity that Omni-Man and his wife have produced with his son comes to the forefront in the final battle scene against Mark, and we see that this is the one thing that stops Omni-Man from delivering a fatal punch. But the series also dives into the fun details of superhero comics, like introducing us to the man who designs the costumes of our heroes, reminding me of Edna in a way from The Incredibles. Or in the opening episode, like where it gives us a comparable Justice League team. It's the mix of melodramatic moments and connections with teen soaps and the sci-fi action that allows Invincible to be bright with alien invasions and kaiju confrontations, but also incredibly intimate, like with the family dinner after battle with the Graysons. It is one of them shows that more people should be watching, but it's understandable that within the plethora of superhero TV shows that Invincible might have stood out more prominently if it had been made sooner, before the format became overcrowded with shows attempting to one-up each other in terms of intelligence and visual appeal. But despite this, the series still stands on its own, with an intriguing and surprising story led by an enormous cast. Kirkman's long-running comic book took readers to incredible places, and I hope that this TV adaptation can continue its astonishing run in Season 2. With its clear love for the heroes that came before, it also has a big chance to grow into the epic it aims to be. Invincible will have you addicted by the end of the first episode with great action set pieces, but will really attract you with the human elements. This show is so much more than just another superhero cartoon, as it crosses comedy, mystery, drama, romance, and science fiction, giving audiences a multi-genred show that subverts what you expect. But that was my video essay for Robert Kirkman's new TV show Invincible, and why I think the series has subverted the superhero genre and also given audiences something quite enjoyable. We'll have to see where we go in season 2 and 3 of Invincible down the line, and after how good season 1 turned out to be, I can't wait to watch what's next and cover it here on the channel. Let me know down below what your thoughts are towards Invincible on Amazon Prime, and do you agree with the points I have raised in this analysis? For more videos on upcoming TV shows and movies, including season 2 and 3 of Invincible in the years to come, then subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Also, if you enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like rating. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I've been Cortex, and as always, make some noise.